Yeah, I'm actually really sad I never got to see the Beastie Boys live. It's one of those artists who really had a lasting impression on me growing up and getting into music, and just, I think, in a way, helping foster my very eclectic taste in music. I love music. It helps keep me sane. I listen to some pretty bizarre stuff. Just ask my wife. Everything from clowncore to the Matoid to Girls' Rituals to Ween and Tool and Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson Ministry. I mean, you can just go down the line, and I'll listen to if it sounds good and it gives me goosebumps, I'll listen to it. All right. But concerts, that's something that I really haven't been to in quite frankly, years. The last actual event that Megan and I went to was to go see Dave Chappelle in Indianapolis. And that was, back in November or October. I can't remember when, in the era of COVID. Things just, we continue to see various problems with understanding what time it is, what part of the month it is. So I want to hear from you. Do you plan on going to see some concerts out there? We're seeing a lot more being announced. Tool, for instance, they're going to be down in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center, and that show is actually going to be on March 18th. And they've got that all scheduled out. But you've also got Slipknot. They're bringing their Knot Fest Road Show to the Peoria Civic Center April 7th. So that's actually coming up as well. So you've got a couple of these big concerts. Do you plan on going? And do you plan on going in the era of COVID-19? 217-629-7970. That's the phone number for you to call in and let us hear your voice. Again, 217-629-7970 on the WMAY morning news feed. Thanks to Megan. She she found the artist of this. It's called Opus One by, who is it? Tim Carlson or something? I don't know. But while we wait for your calls here on WMAY, enjoy this banger. Why is this so awesome? I could probably listen to this forever and be totally content. And the fact that they called it Opus Number One, come on. That seems a little bit too sure of yourself there. All right, 217-629-7970. Do you plan on going to some of these concerts? Again, you've got Slipknot that's going to be in Peoria at the Peoria Civic Center April 7th. You've got Tool that's going to be at the Enterprise Center down in St. Louis March 18th. But here's the deal. You've got a couple of different policies that are being implemented here. The Peoria Civic Center, and this is from their website, it says that face masks are required, which, I mean, going to a Slipknot show, duh. It's kind of their shtick, isn't it? They wear masks, but you've got the safety and security issues that the Peoria Civic Center lays out. Face masks and face coverings will be required for guests 2 years or older, regardless of vaccination status. So they've got that laid out. But at this time, there is no vaccination check. So at this time, most shows do not require proof of vaccine at the Peoria Civic Center. And they do have, of course, a little caveat here at their website saying that some shows could have different policies. So I have yet to see what the policy is going to be for the Slipknot show, if they're going to require you to show your vaccine card or to possibly show a negative test. Now, it's a different story for Tool down at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. They're actually going to be requiring that you do provide your vaccination card. So all guests 12 and older will be required to show proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. And these are tests, of course, and I've seen this elsewhere that the test has to be administered by a professional. It can't be, an at-home test, for instance. So with these types of restrictions, I mean, is this going to put a damper on your plans to go to concerts? 217-629-7970. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Hey, no, it won't put any damper on me, but I don't think wearing a spiked rubber mask to a Slipknot concert is CDC approved.
Are you gonna be the bouncer there going up to somebody wearing a spiked Slipknot mask saying that doesn't fit the CDC standards here?
No, I'm just saying. I think if that's what you think, going there with a rubber mask, it's not. Gonna,
Listen, I wore a mask to the Slipknot show when they came to Springfield back in like 2005 or 2006 or something. I had this this latex mask, and I was like, I'm gonna be cool and go to the Slipknot show with a mask on.
Sweated something fierce,
dude. I about passed out. Yeah. All right, because not only did I wear the mask, I jolted to the pit. And I went right to the front, and I was just, all exertion, sweating, and then I got into the mosh pit, and they're slamming hard, and then I'm like, I'm about to pass out. I have to take this mask off.
Hey, Greg, was that little sample there, was that an X-File sample?
No, this right here?
Yeah. Oh.
No, that's the call, the call wait music.
It sounds very X-Files. So
it kind of does. Yeah, it kind of has that feel to it.
For your intro every morning.
Yeah. Whatever. Get out of here. All right, it's the WMAY morning news feed taking your phone calls. Do you plan on going to some concerts, even though you've got different policies here? Again, a couple of big concerts I'm interested in. Tool down at the Enterprise Center. They're requiring vaccine proof or a negative test. Slipknot at the Peoria Civic Center, which I think this group, this hip hop horror group that's called Horror, and it's actually, if you search for it, it's going to be H09909. If you search them up, they're a hip hop group duo that's just they're on a different level. But I think they may be with Slipknot actually. So I'm really interested in that show, but they only require you to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status, at least as of right now. So could all this change in the weeks ahead? Who knows? Do these COVID-19 policies put a damper on your plans to go to concerts? Good morning.
No, I won't be going to. I'll be driving to them, but I won't be seeing them. But I have a question for you, though.
Sure.
If you have to show proof of vaccination, usually that's like within 48 hours of the concert. The only two places I know of that you can get that done that quick are like CVS and Walgreens.
Well, you're talking about the test, not vaccination, just to be clear.
Oh yeah, the test.
Right.
But you have to have a copy of that. But the thing is it can't be the rapid test. It has to be the other one.
Yeah, the PCR test. And that brings up a big question as to, we're going to see all this flood of tests coming from the federal government. You're going to see, insurance companies covering the cost of tests. But which tests are going to be used to, say, get into a concert? Because there was another event I saw down in St. Louis I wanted to go to, and it's a found footage festival where they buy old VHS tapes from, thrift stores, and they slap it all together. It's absurd. It's hilarious. Looks like a good time. But they're requiring either vaccine proof or a negative COVID-19 test, but they said explicitly it can't be a self-administered test. It has to be a test conducted by a physician. So again, these types of requirements could throw a wrench into people's plans. And some people may be of the mind of, if we're still at this emergency level where they're requiring masks in public and they're requiring you to show whether or not you have a virus, why are we having these events? 217-629-7970 is the phone number. What do you think? Good morning. All right, let's go to this one, 217-629-7970. Good morning.
Yeah, I'd love to go to that Tool concert down in St. Louis, but I don't even think the mask policy is the problem. It's the inflation that is destroying my paycheck. Let's go, Brandon.
How much are the Tool tickets? Do you know? I think they're probably, Tool was like the last concert I went to before the pandemic pretty much ruined everything. But back then, I think I paid like $90 a ticket or something. We were in nosebleed seats. So I would imagine tickets are probably similar. If you're going to try to get floor seats, it's probably upwards to $200, $300 or something. Not sure what Slipknot tickets are going to be, but that's in Peoria. But again, when it comes to COVID-19 policies and these public large-scale events, you're going to have to wear masks, which might not be a bad idea for the Slipknot show. But in other areas, you might have to show proof of vaccine or proof of a negative test. Is that going to put a hindrance into your plans? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Morning, Greg. Yeah, the last concert I went to was probably like what you said about, 2006, 2007. It was Journey whenever they were at the fair.
Journey.
And, yeah, well, I took so there was that. But anyway, no, I think that this is basically just more of a tactic to segregate people, to be honest, because, of course, the government just wants to make sure that everyone's in their nice little, side, that they have to draw lines and make sure that all these policies are in play, and to make sure that everybody is divided instead of trying to actually come together and actually have a solution. Instead, they want to make sure that everyone's in disarray and disagreement,
or just maybe they're looking. And again, the ultimate effect of these policies is that people are still highly concerned about COVID-19. And I'll go back to it. Some people may say that if there's still all these policies in place, then why are we even having these events? If it's that big of an issue, why are we even having these events? If we have to completely sidestep people's normal living process of just going about their lives freely, and instead wrecking that with having to show papers, be it a negative test or a COVID vaccine shot, actually, or wearing a mask. Why are we having these events?
There's a band called Emery, which you would probably like if you haven't heard of them already. They actually had a live, Zoom concert.
Yeah, but that's so 2020. That's 2020 late. Right? The live Zoom concerts. No, I don't think. Listen, I watched a couple of those. I enjoy live music, but there's nothing like being there in person. And we did get a taste of that, Megan and I, when we went to go see Dave Chappelle in Indianapolis. They had a policy of you have to show your vaccine card. They weren't checking it. They had one guy in a sea of 500 people yelling, vaccine, vaccine, and negative test, and he was not looking at anybody's stuff. He was just waving people through. So is that the way it's going to proceed here moving forward, or what? But we did get that taste of live performance, and it was wonderful. It was so wonderful to see a stadium full of 15,000 people just having a good time, and people weren't wearing masks in there. But again, we've got a couple of concerts, at least I'm interested in, Slipknot, Tool. They got different policies when it comes to COVID-19 mitigation. So we'll see what happens with all of this, but appreciate everybody chiming in here. Paul on Facebook said, I've got tickets to several shows months away in hopes. Have sold last two events because of the stupidity, he says. So interesting to see that. All right, so we might talk about this more in the future in other episodes. It is the WMAY Morning News Feed. I'm Greg.